Hello, everyone. I am Maria, and I am the admin of the Money Making Esthetician group. And today we're joined with the lovely Gina.
There you go.
Gina, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Gina with NeurotriS. I am one of the educators and sales reps for NeurotriS, who manufactures microcurrent devices for the face and body. And thank you all for joining us today. What we're going to be doing is a demonstration on our face 4-channel system, the SX3800. And we'll talk you through it as we go. If you have any questions, just let us know. And I'll go ahead and explain as I'm doing the demonstration. So Maria, you just let me know when I'm ready to begin.
Let's get started. We're already recording.
Okay, perfect. So again, this is the SX3800. It is our 4-channel system. And what that means is that most electrical units have one positive and one negative that you work with on the skin. Ours has 4. So that's why we have these probes. It's the Pico probes, and it's a positive and negative. So you've got 4 channels working back and forth on the skin. Our system here, the SX3800, has several different programs. So I'll talk you through the programs as I'm using it. They all have different functions. We do have other accessories that I'll be showing towards the end of the demonstration. But first, we'll get started with these and we'll get going. And just so that you guys know, when you're looking at the SX3800 and adding it to your services, we do offer training. We've got a really good training platform that we offer, virtual training. And on some cases, we do trainings here in California. This is our corporate office and our training center. So we do offer in-house training as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the Pico program. And what this program does is it works to do collagen building and wrinkle reduction on the skin. And it's one of our flagship programs. So I'm going to go ahead and switch cameras onto our model here and utilize what we have for conductivity, which is our NeutrosiS conductive gel. And so what I'm doing is I'm applying the gel to one side of the face to start. Hopefully we'll see a difference, and then we'll work on the other side. So just a little bit of gel on the skin. There we go. And again, the Pico program, this is a nice collagen building program. And the probes, again, is the 4-channel probes. So I'm starting with a smooth flowing movement. This is just our glide and introducing the current to the skin. And so all of our treatments should be very gentle. There's a little bit of sensation, but it's never uncomfortable. The nice thing about using the NeurotriS device is that you do have different amplitude adjustments for each program, so you can adjust it according to client comfort. And according to the results that you're trying to achieve. So it is important with our technology that the current is allowed to embed into the skin. So the movements tend to be very slow and relaxing for the client. It's a little bit of pressure that I'm using with the probes to sculpt the face. And feel free, if you have any questions during this demonstration, to ask. And we'll definitely answer anything that you have questions about.
Is there a specific gel that you use?
We are using the NeurotriS conductivity gel.
Okay.
And it kind of just looks like that.
Very cool.
So we do have a gel and a spray that we recommend during the course of the treatment. NeurotriS is product neutral, meaning that you can use other products with our technology. The only thing that is required when you're doing a NeurotriS treatment is going to be the conductivity gel. Everything else is your choice as far as product. We do have a NeutrosiS program where you can embed product deeper into the skin. Those products, as long as it is water-based, you can go ahead and use it. So you don't have a lot of consumables when you're working with NeurotriS.
And what are the benefits of using the microcurrent?
Microcurrent helps to increase collagen elasticity. Also helps to increase blood circulation and ATP. With the different programs that we have on our microcurrent machine, you're going to have the ability to work on things like wrinkle reduction, fine lines and wrinkles, expression lines, and even muscle lifting. So it's an overall anti-aging treatment that is really beneficial for people that are looking for a natural service versus doing something that is trauma-based or even surgery.
I love that. So how long do you go on one side?
Typically, the treatment is about 40 minutes long. And
Like
so
20.
you probably do about 20 minutes each side. It depends on your service. Sometimes when I'm doing a treatment, I might go a little bit longer than 40. So I'll do 20 minutes on one side, 20 minutes on the other side, and then I'll switch over and do both sides at the same time, just to kind of even things out and make sure I have any trouble spots or areas of concern. I'll spend a little bit more time on those at the end.
And how much does this treatment normally cost the client? How much do we charge for the services?
It really depends on location in terms of that. Different cities, you know, if you're in Beverly Hills or New York City, Boston areas, certain parts of Florida, you probably will be on the higher side, anywhere from $250 to $350 if you're in per treatment. And if you're in, you know, an area where, you know, your highest service is, you know, $150, then that's kind of what you're looking at. But on the lower end, it's going to be about $150 per treatment. And
yeah,
then,
for 40 minutes. Great.
For 40 minutes, yeah. And with our treatments also, we do recommend that you do a series of treatments. So you're going to do twice a week for 5 weeks. And so sometimes you may find people that will discount when they're buying a package of 10. But we kind of leave that up to you. So on average, you're looking at low side 150, then it increases depending on your location. But twice a week is recommended. So it's really simple to use. These probes look a little tricky. There's so much power in it that you tend to use these probes as often as you can when you have this machine. You know, with NeurotriS, we do have several other machines as well, but this is our flagship base machine.
I'm like, I want it.
It's a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun to do. It feels really nice and relaxing for the client. And so a lot of people really enjoy utilizing the NeurotriS in their treatment rooms. It's one of those services that you'll find people keep coming back for because the results are profound and it feels nice.
So if somebody buys a package of 6, how do you recommend they come in, or how does the treatment work?
I still recommend that they do twice a week.
Twice a week?
Yeah, what that is doing it. It's creating muscle memory. So when you're doing the treatment, you want to keep them as close together as you possibly can. You don't have to do it every day. That's not recommended, but at least twice a week to get the best results. Helps to reinforce the current, and also just, it's like exercise. You know, we all wish we don't have to exercise more than twice a week, but it never works out that way.
So it would be a package of 6 coming in twice a week. And then after that, it would be
Maintenance, yeah. So we typically recommend 6 to 10 treatments initially. 10 treatments is going to be essential depending on how old the client is and what kind of aging issues they have. So once they finish with this series, whether it's 6 or 10, then they're coming in once a month for their monthly facials. And what you do with that is just the same treatment service, just one treatment every 4 weeks.
Every 4 weeks.
And some people even longer than that. And I've had clients, it's kind of like if you're touching up your highlights or covering gray hair, it really depends on the client as far as how often they want to come in to do that. Some people will come in more often than others. And some people can go, 5 to 6 weeks and be okay with their results. The idea is to not keep it too far apart because you don't want what you've achieved with the 10 treatments or 6 treatments to go away. Like anything, it's not going to get worse, but if you stop exercising, the muscles will relax, might weight, so those things are the same when doing a NeurotriS treatment. I'm going to switch real quick. So this is going to be the tone program. This one is tone and texture. It's for crepey skin.
And you guys are more than welcome to turn your mics on, or if you guys have any questions, they're here to answer all of them. I actually love this treatment because I actually saw it, I think, on a reality TV show, and I was like, what is that magic? And I was like, I want it.
That's the beauty about the beauty business, right? It's we get it for clients, of course, but we do want it for ourselves too. And you can do yourself, so you can work on yourself as well. So it's really easy. Use the machine.
Are there any contraindications?
Contraindications, yes. So typically no pregnancy, no current cancer, definitely no pacemaker, and no epilepsy. Botox and fillers, they have to wait at least 2 weeks before getting the treatment done. And then metal may cause a little bit of discomfort. So if they have like braces on, or if they have metal fillings, that is usually fine. If they have, like a metal screw in their knee or something like that, those are fine as well. We just like to let the clients know if you feel any discomfort, just, let us know. And then we can turn down the amplitude adjustment on the machine to make sure that it's comfortable. Now, also, if anybody's curious about this, with the NeurotriS machine, you can combine it with other services. So if you were going to do, say, like a microneedling or dermaplaning or anything like that, you can combine the service with the NeurotriS system. The key is going to be if the service makes the skin feel sensitive, typically with microneedling, when there's open channels on the skin, then you'll probably want to do the NeurotriS first. So I just switched on the machine to our lifting program. So this one is designed to get into the facial muscles and create a lift. Now this one causes a little bit more sensation on the skin. So you may taste a little metal as I'm working around your mouth area. And then when I work around your eye area, you may see a little flash of light. And none of it's harmful. It's just the way that the frequency is communicating with the body. So you have those different sensations. So with the system, you can also do everything from like a neck lift, help to work on the jowl areas. You can also do things like lip plumping
Oh, wow.
and eye lifts. Some of those things are really good in terms of adding on services. So if you're going to do, for example, a regular facial and you wanted to introduce the machine to your clients, that's a good way to introduce the service and get them to sign up for a series by showing them what you can do with an eye lift or with lip plumping. So you just add it onto your facial. You can also work on the hands at the same time for the décolleté. So we have several different accessories that you can utilize with the service.
The skin looks so pretty because I would notice it sometimes with a little bit of filler, it could look a little puffy, which I also love filler in the right use. But I love the fact that this makes it just look so soft and natural.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you have a client that has a little bit of puffiness on their skin, we do have a detoxing protocol that you can do to help reduce intense swelling. And so, of course, we train you how to do all those things. But there are different options you can utilize to address your client's concerns.
So if somebody purchases, how does that work?
We have an online training platform, and that has, I believe, 17 to 18 different modules that'll go over the machine, all of the accessories, all of the movements. So that is a good platform to have because then you have it forever. And then you also have it to
Join live classes.
yeah, train other people in the event that you hire someone that needs training. And again, we do offer in-house training if you come to one of our training centers. And then you also are assigned a training rep like myself, and we do virtual training depending on where you're located. So we have different options. We really do have at least 3 different options in terms of training. We do recommend that people try the training platform first because it has so much info on it, and a lot of times girls go through it and they're comfortable after that, and they don't need in-house training. But if you do, if you're one of those that need or would like to have hands-on training with a representative in front of you, that's certainly something that we can accommodate.
So what are the benefits again?
This is going to be your overall anti-aging service. So whether it's fine lines and wrinkles or lifting facial muscles, the NeurotriS machine is going to be corrective and preventative. Meaning you can work on clients that are just starting to see some postmortem signs of aging. If they're thinking about getting Botox or thinking about getting fillers, but they don't have a lot of sagging, this is perfect for them because it is preventative. It will prevent having to do those kinds of treatments in the future, or at least delay them. And then it is also corrective. So if your client is, say, 70 years old and she's never done any type of facial or any type of service on her skin and she's just wanting to get started, this is perfect because it is corrective as well. So you have a broad demographic that you can use the system on. Okay, so I'm going to finish this up and then we're going to have our model set up for us to see how we've done so far. And then I'll move on to the other side and bring out some of the other accessories.
Chin up, tiny bit to your right. Tilt your face tiny bit to your right so that she's more focused. Very nice.
It looks so good. I'm like, what's your
Yes.
skincare regimen?
It's gonna move over to this side. So I'm basically gonna just follow the same movements on this side. And then we'll switch over and look at some of the other accessories that come with the machine.
Perhaps you could talk about how you're choosing how high you turn the frequency.
So with all of our programs, we have an amplitude adjustment, and I don't know if you can see this.
It went
Switching.
down a little bit. It switched. There we go.
Okay, so the machine has amplitude adjustments. The program selector is in the middle. Each program has a amplitude adjustment recommendation. And so it depends on client comfortability as far as how high you would turn it up. I typically kind of start in the middle if it's the client's first time, because if it's their first time doing it, we don't want to scare them away. So I go ahead and utilize the amplitude adjustment, and it's kind of like, when you're exercising or if you're doing weight training. And as your body gets stronger, you add more weight. With this machine, you can utilize it in the same function, whereas, say the minimum amplitude adjustment starts at, say, 15%. As they do more treatments during that series, you can increase it as they go. So even if they start out really sensitive, typically by the time we're even halfway through the series, we'll be able to turn up the amplitude adjustment higher.
Does that make it more effective?
The amplitude adjustment, if you're staying within the recommended range, you always get good results. Does it make it more effective to turn it up higher? Not necessarily, as long as the client is comfortable. So you do have options when working with your clients.
You could talk about how many programs this machine has and whether you might use them all in a treatment or why not.
So our machine has several different programs. This particular one has 7. And so each program has a different function. Typically in a 40-minute treatment, you can use 1 through 7 if you wanted to, or you can pick and choose according to the client's needs. So sometimes it depends on age or aging issues. You may not need to use all 7. You may decide that you want to use a particular program to address the issue that is the greatest concern. So say the client has saggy jowls. So that would be more of a muscle lifting program. And with our machine, or with our services, actually, what you could do is spend more time with the muscle lifting programs versus the wrinkle reduction programs, because that's what the client needs or wants. So you can always tailor it to the individual's wants and their concerns. You could, again, do 1 through 7. Typically, though, I find that everybody's so different with their aging concerns that it is more beneficial to customize it every time they come in. And then, of course, you'll have clients that come in and they need everything. So you might do 1 through 7. Or what I tend to do with like an older client that needs everything, during that series of 10 treatments, I'll spend one day doing more muscle building and then the next day doing more wrinkle reduction. So I tend to change it up that way.
Oh, that's such a good
idea. Yeah, so you have options. You have a lot of options to customize your treatments. And then you can, utilize it with different modalities too. So if you have like an LED light panel that you like to use, we definitely recommend that. That's a good service that you can add on with one of our other accessories. In terms of doing like a mask or something towards the end of the treatment. It's always a nice benefit for the client to add on more services. You don't have to. So if you're going to add on, say like a mask, or if you're going to do LED or microneedling, those tend to be more customized treatments that become more of like a VIP or red carpet type service. When you're doing something like that, it might be longer, so it might be more than 40 minutes. And you will also charge accordingly, right? So if it's a deluxe package, it is definitely going to be more time and more cost to the client. But those services, when you're customizing it that way, makes you different, makes you stand out in terms of, if you're concerned about so many people doing microcurrents where you're located, with our machines, you have so many different options to customize it. That's never a concern. Switch back to the tone program. Again, I'm just going through this real quick just to make it all even. So typically what you'll do is, what you do on one side, you're just going to follow up with the other side. The second side that you work on tends to be a little bit faster because the current will flow over, right? So it flows over from, say this side we started, this side is getting a little bit of residual current, so this side may not take as long to lift. So it does make the second side a little bit faster, but we just want to make sure it's all even. And then in the event that you do have a client that is asymmetrical, you can certainly spend more time on that side.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so that's where your before and afters come in handy. And, during our consultations, I recommend that you talk to your clients about what they'd like to see. Because most people will say, I sleep on my left side, so that side is lower. Or something happened and this eye is not as high as this other side. So once you, evaluate that with your clients, you'll know which side to spend longer on if need be.
It looks so relaxing.
It is really nice. It does feel really good on the skin. And these probes tend to look like they wouldn't be. When I first started, I looked at these probes and I went, I think I'm going to take somebody's eye out with that. But they're actually very comfortable. They're really good on the skin, and it is simple to use. And I like that it has so much power. Makes my life a lot easier. Go ahead and switch over to our lifting program. So this one is, again, muscle lifting. And our machine has 2 muscle lifting programs. They work in combination together. So, and again, we teach you these kinds of things when you have a machine. But our 2 lifting program, one helps to build, and then one kind of solidifies the lift. So I've been using the main lifting program on her skin. If she was going to be doing, she was a client that she was coming in twice a week, or even on during her normal maintenance, I would definitely utilize both lifting programs.
And this is all you get trained on which one you should use?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. And so with our programs, we have 7. Our first program is oxygenation. That one helps to increase blood circulation on the skin. Really good for someone that has dark circles, or sometimes people have that ashen skin. It's a little bit on the grayish side. They just need to be perked up a little bit. So the oxygen program is good for them. And then we have a nano program and our pico program. Those are different currents. So this is all based on microcurrent. The nano current and the pico programs are different levels of microcurrent. They're smaller. They tend to work better on the skin in terms of wrinkle reduction. And so when you're working on your clients, which one you use is really up to you. You could use both if you wanted to, or you can kind of pick and choose. When you're getting your machine, I always recommend for the estheticians to try the machine on themselves, because what it's doing with microcurrent, right, it resonates with the body's own electrical impulses. And what you want to be able to do is find a program that the client likes, and you won't know it until you put it on the skin. So we kind of guide you on what each program does, and then once you get it and apply it to yourself and then start working on clients, you'll kind of determine which one you feel will be more beneficial. And if you know you choose a program and the client isn't responding as well, all you have to do is switch it. So you have a lot of different options with it. You'll always get good results. There's always a way to get even better results as you're working with your client. And your trainers are here to help you. So a lot of times with my clients that I've trained, I always recommend, you know, take your pictures. And if you come across a client that you don't feel confident with, that you're not getting as good results as you would like to see, send the pictures to me, and then we'll discuss it and see what we can do that will be better, or that will help yield greater results.
Oh, I love that. So it's like continuing support.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So with NeurotriS, we do pride ourselves on, you know, you're not just buying a machine. What you're doing is you're kind of getting a relationship with us, with the company. NeurotriS has been around for a long time. And all of our machines are made here in California. We have all of the certifications from the FDA. So it's been safety tested. We do have a lifetime warranty on all of our technologies. And so we pride ourselves on quality. You know, so we want to make sure that you're happy and you're getting really good results. So we provide tons of support, anything that you could think of.
This is such a beautiful treatment.
Thank you. Yeah, we like it. This is a lot of fun. It's really relaxing to do as well. It's not, you know, strenuous on the body, and you kind of get into a kind of a groove when you're doing the treatment.
Totally. And like, you must get a ton of compliments on your skin because it is so beautiful.
Thank you. I don't know if you're talking to me or the client. The client has beautiful skin.
The client.
Loving it.
I'm like, how do we book an appointment?
I'm going to switch real quick. So again, this is our little machine here. And so what I'm going to do is switch over. Actually, I'm going to stick with the lifting program. Dial it down a little bit. I'm going to switch accessory. So again, this is the Pico probes. I'm going to set this one aside, and I'm going to switch over to this. This is our gloves. So with our gloves, we have our silver sculpting gloves. These silver gloves, when you're utilizing them, you want to use the liner. So that's what these are. I'm using these gloves. What that does is it protects my hand from the current, so that the current is going directly on the client's skin and not me. Switch up cable. So really simple to do when you're working with all of our different accessories. Some people feel like it's a little overwhelming at first, but you know, with the training and so on, and as you get used to it, it's kind of nice to have different accessories to utilize during a service. Changes it up for the client. It feels really good. And have different options when you're using these things. So the gloves here are wet. So the silver gloves are wet. So we run them underwater to the water conducts electricity. And then we have our spray. And so the spray helps to give a little bit more conductivity on the skin. And again, as far as consumables, this is it. You've got gel and you've got the spray. So cost per treatment is really effective. So I'm going to do one side at a time. Switch over this side. The gloves are very popular. And so the nice thing about utilizing the gloves is being able to sculpt with your hands. So we can really feel where there's laxity in the muscle. And it feels good on the skin. So for the client, this will feel like a nice massage. I tend to finish my treatment services with the gloves, just to make sure everything's even.
Did you change cameras? There we go. Perfect. Super cool. Do you have a preference between the two? Is one better than the other?
Yeah, the Pico Pros is going to be your go-to because of the 4 channels. So that's going to have your most power. So you're going to spend most of your treatment utilizing those. It's nice that you can get really close to the eye when you're doing these, and also do a little bit on the lid. Get into the corners of the eyes. I'll do a little bit on the other side with the gloves, and then we'll let her sit up so that you guys can see.
How about explain why you're switching?
So with our machine, we have a positive and negative on this in each accessory. And so for our machines, the positive should always remain on the bottom. And so I switched the cables just to make sure that we're getting the lift and we're not going downwards on the skin.
So you just kind of like hold it a little bit.
Yeah, the longer you hold, the better results you're going to get. What that does, it allows you to embed the current deeper into the skin. So the holding pattern does yield greater results. It's one of the things that I reinforce when we're training. The gliding feels really good. We have another movement called the erase, which is really good as well. But the holding is going to be key to really lift the skin and work on those fine lines and wrinkles. What it does, again, it just embeds the current deeper into the skin. So when you're gliding it too much, it doesn't penetrate as well as if you're holding to that muscle or wherever the concern is. Typically, when I'm doing a treatment, especially the first treatment that they come in for, I do make sure that when I'm working on one side at a time, that they do sit up so that I can test and see what it looks like, make sure we're even. So sometimes the first treatment isn't the most relaxing because they're having to get up from the treatment, but that just helps me gauge my results. And then after that, as we're doing more treatments, then they won't have to sit up as much. But I'm gonna have one sit up for us real quick, just so we can take a look. Very nice. Her skin is beautiful. Yeah,
So good.
lovely.
I have a picture of the
Thank
book after.
Nice. And so, so that was our gloves. And what I wanted to do, if we still have time, I wanted to just kind of go over some of the other accessories, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
So there are several different accessories that come with the machine. And so these are just a few that we utilize during the treatment services. So first one I'll talk about is going to be our single probes. These, if you're familiar with microcurrent, you've probably seen these before. But the nice thing about our machine is that you can utilize it in different functions. For example, our detoxification programs, our lip plumping, and so on. So we're going to do just a little bit of lip plumping for her right now. I may have to add a little bit more gel here. So you could do the treatment service with these probes. You may not, especially because you have the people probes. This one won't have as much power, but the nice thing about utilizing the single probes is that it gives you a specific focus in the area. So this will help with lip plumping and lip lines above the upper lip.
Oh, super cool.
People tend to feel this one right away because we are increasing a lot of blood circulation in the area. Okay, how do we do the subsequent lips? So what I'm doing right now is I'm kind of pulling a little bit on the bottom lip. And the idea is to increase the collagen from the inside to the outside. So helps with a little bit of plumping. And so if you were going to do this like as an add-on service, which you could, so if you're doing a facial and the client wanted to do some lip plumping, I would say maybe give it about 8 minutes or so as an add-on.
On the same conducting gel, correct?
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Just another thing. And for some clients, depending on how thin the lips are, you can also have them, do duck lips for you to help with and poofing it out a little bit. This will help to keep the probes closer together. Yes. So again, you can spot treat different areas of the face with this. I like these probes because I can get into the corner of the eye this way as well. A little hard to do with the Pico probes. So what I'm doing is, some people have a little bit of, they lose a little volume, inside, but you have little fine lines in there. So that's where you can put the probes. You have different options when you're working with these things. So that's our single probes. And what I'll do is I'm going to switch over to one of our other accessories. This one is the photon probe. The photon probe has LED light and ultrasonic vibration along with the microcurrent. So it's another accessory that you can utilize even if you have a light panel. This is a good probe to use as well. So see it.
Is this all included in this machine when you buy the machine?
Yes, yes. So you get several different accessories. So again, just the different light, depending on what you're going to work on for the client, it could be, red for collagen, it could be blue for your acne, it could be green for pigmentation. So you have options there. I tend to like utilizing this one with the red light and the oxygen program. You do get a set of goggles as well that you can have the clients wear. It is for client comfort more than safety. Most of the time when I'm doing the photon probe, just make sure that their eyes are closed before I work on the skin. Let's make sure. Just trying to get a little angles here. There we go. So with our programs, if I wanted to utilize just this by itself, I can just go ahead and use it. The beauty of having this is incorporating the microcurrent at the same time. So if you're going to do that, you need a positive on face or on the body. So what I tend to do with my treatments is there are a couple of different ways to do that. But right now, I'll show you what it looks like with the single probe. And with all these accessories, you don't have to use them on every single treatment. You can, of course, because that's why we give it to you. But I always tell clients when we're training that you don't need to feel overwhelmed with utilizing every single program, every single accessory on every single treatment, especially when you're first starting. What happens is you'll want to get accustomed to utilizing the Pico probes because that's going to give you your most power. So that's going to be your most important. So you can kind of glide it both at the same time.
Oh, very cool.
You can also have the client hold on to the positive probe, which is this one. But I tend to, a lot of clients have told me they like the way it feels when both are running on the skin. So I tend to use it like this. Again, we have options, so it's not wrong or more effective one way or the other. The idea is just to have a positive and negative on the skin at all times. When you're using these two together, you'll just have to have the positive probe either, again, they fold onto it or run it together. This is kind of nice too, when you're using like the iontophoresis program, you have like a serum that you're wanting to embed. A lot of people like utilizing it with the green light and a skin lightener. So if you have like a spot on that you're trying to work for the client, you know, dark spots, sunspots, you can switch it to the green light and infuse that product along with the green light at the same time. So a lot of different options. Okay, so those are our primary accessories. We do have a few others. Are there any questions that I can answer?
It changed. Let me see.
Weird.
Changed to a desk. There we go. No, I feel like you answered all questions. What are the benefits? I also know that there are payment options. Well, I will put in the newsletter and then all the contact info. Is there anything that you would like to add?
I will say that in terms of the payment options, we do have 100% finance or 0% financing that
Unapproved
comes with the
credits.
machine as long as you credit qualify. So I think that's a good option to go with. You know, you do have, you need to have 2 years in business in good credit, but if that is an option for you, it's nice to use somebody else's money, right? To purchase a machine, there's no payment penalty, and just whatever the cost of the machine is, you're going to divide it by 24 to 36 months. So that's always a good option. And this is, again, our flagship machine, right? The SX3800. We do have other machines. We have another face machine, which is a single channel. That single channel is a good machine if you are just starting out as an esthetician and you don't have a large client base, or if you're new to microcurrent. The nice thing about the NeurotriS technologies is that we offer upgrades. So if you started with the what's called our Pico Wave, it is a smaller system. It is a single channel system that has our auto mode programs. It works beautifully on the skin. It's just manufactured differently, so the price points are different. It does not come with the Pico probes. It comes with just the single probes and the gloves and the photon probe, which I showed you. But that is also a good option, again, if you're just starting out. And you can upgrade our technologies. So if you started out with a Pico Wave, you can always turn it in or trade it in with the company and get to the 3800. So you can always upgrade if you want to. And then we also have our SX4500, and that is a face and body machine. So you could either add that, or you could upgrade from the 3800 to the 4500, which will give you body sculpting and body contouring as well. So lots of different options for you. You know, just call the office or one of your representatives. You know, we'll happy to answer any questions you have. I don't know that there's anything else. If I missed something, please feel free to give us a call.
Perfect. So I did put everything in the chat, and then I will send it out with the newsletter with all the contact info.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Maria, for doing this with us. And thank you, anybody who was on here listening and watching me work. I hope you enjoyed the information, and we look forward to hearing from you guys.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.